Hello and welcome to Tech Deals Game Performance Review Overwatch. We're playing Overwatch today on the Intel Core i5-2400 second generation quad-core processor. In this machine we have 8 GB of system RAM, DDR3 1333, and NVIDIA's GeForce GT 710 1 GB graphics card. This is a very basic $35 graphics card. This game is actually playable on a $35 graphics card. I was impressed. 1080p full HD resolution, low detail, 50% render resolution. Yes, it's not the prettiest thing in the world at this very low setting, but it in fact does work. Fraps was used for the minimum, maximum, and average game performance numbers that you will see at the end of this video, but Fraps was not used to record the video you're watching. Instead, an external hardware capture card, the HD60 Pro, was used for the video capture, so there was no impact on the game performance. In fact, the computer doesn't even know it's being recorded. The numbers in green at the upper left-hand corner of the screen are from Msi Afterburner, a free program you can download from MSI.com to monitor the real-time performance of your machine. The first line is the GT 710 graphics card itself. The percentage is the percentage of the performance or the compute capability of the card. We're using all of it basically. Then you have the temperature of the card, 65 degrees Celsius, perfectly normal and reasonable. Now the 0 RPM means the fan's not turning. Why is it not turning? There's no fan on this card. It's completely silent. It is a passive heatsink card. Then you have the clock rate of the chip itself. The memory line, the second line, is actually the VRAM or the video RAM on board the graphics card. We're using just over half a gigabyte of RAM. What this means is that if you had the 2 GB version of the 710, it would make no difference to performance. We're not even using 1 GB. Then we have our CPU line. This is our i5-2400 CPU. We are using actually about 3 cores, 75%, 82%. This game does in fact use more than 2 cores, so if you have a true quad-core processor, it will run better. Our temperature, on the other hand, is very cool at under 60 degrees Celsius. Our system memory is below 4 GB. Now, I wouldn't recommend running this on a 4 GB system. You could, but we have 8 GB, which is plenty for what we're doing. And then you can see our real-time frame rate, DirectX 11. We just hit 100 frames per second. Now, if you want a slightly prettier image, can you turn the resolution up to, say, 900p? Could you turn the render resolution from 50% to 70 or 75%? Sure, you could, but there will be times where you pay for that in heavy battle scenes. Sure, the performance is 100 frames per second when you're not doing anything, but when there's a lot of explosions and a lot of stuff going on, you'll see that start. You see we're down to 70 at the moment. It dips down at a few points. It just depends upon what map you're on, how many different characters. Oh, Steve is about to explode, and I survived it thanks to the shield and distance. Awesome! Now, ignoring the terrible gameplay here, because our team just never really got it together. We captured early, got 23%, and then we just got owned by the poor enemy team. But of course, this isn't about the gameplay, it's about the performance, and the performance is good enough. It's worth noting that the computer that this is installed in is 5 years old. You can buy these computers for $100 off of eBay. In fact, I've done videos showing that. There'll be a link in the video description below to eBay, pre-sorted, price lowest to highest. Buy it now on all the i5-2400 based machines. It is an incredible value. Over time, you may even get these for less than $100. This graphics card's a $35 graphics card, so you're looking at anywhere from $130 to $140, including the graphics chip, to play Overwatch. It's not ideal performance, it's not ideal resolution, but the fact of the matter is, for less than $150, this game's playable. That's pretty cool. Now we're on to our second round. We are waiting for the objective. The control node's gonna unlock here. Now I'm gonna leave this in. I did Fraps record both of these. I got 2 different runs. I did stop the frame rate recording during the loading screen. You briefly saw the Fraps counter come up in the upper right hand corner, and I did that because I didn't want the frame rate to be biased by just sitting waiting for the next match, because the performance is great because you're not doing anything. So the performance is all during combat. As you can see, we are right at 65, 67. We dipped down to 60 just a second ago, frames a second. This is why we're running at 50% render resolution at 720p. It's because in scenes like this, when it's really busy and there's a lot of stuff going on, you really need that extra performance, assuming that you want to maintain 60 frames per second. Of course, that's a oh, that's funny, they went dropping off. The other Eva went jetting off and fell down the chasm. That's funny. Notice that we have not managed to capture the capture point here. They've got 22%, we're contesting it. They've got 25%. Can you guess where this game's going? I don't want to give it away, but it's not looking very good. Take a look at our CPU usage there. It just jumped up to 91% a second ago. Will Overwatch play on a dual-core machine? Yes. Will it play this well? Nah, not really. An i3 would be better than a Pentium because a Pentium only has 2 cores, 2 threads. An i3 at least is hyper-threaded, so it has 4 threads, even though it's actually only 2 processing cores. But really for gaming these days, oh, that's going to hurt. I would really recommend at least an i5, considering that you can buy an i5 like this for less than $150, sometimes around $100. Why would you go with anything less? I mean, honestly, for gaming, I think a quad core is now the minimum, but that's me personally. That was a good kill there. In fact, I'm not going to show it, but that was play of the game. I'm going to trim it here in a second. We're at 72%, 73%. Yeah, we're not even in the main battle scene right now. They are owning us. It's depressing, but it happens. It's okay, you know. This is a pretty quick battle. I trimmed out the waiting section while we were waiting for the levels to load. But even that being considered, this was an incredibly quick battle. They just walked all over us, but it happens. Now, linked in the video description below will be a link to buy Overwatch. Amazon, Kingwin, and G2A will be down there. As I said before, the link to all the i5-2400 machines on eBay is down there. Yikes, that was dreadful. Let's go take a look at the results, shall we? Overwatch GT 710, 720p, low detail, 50% render resolution, 73 frames per second average, minimum of 50, max of 105. Looking at the frame performance over time, it was over 60 frames per second, 90% of the time. That was actually really good performance. I have no complaints with that. Like this video if you like it. Don't if you don't. Remember to subscribe to my channel with the big huge red button right below this video. Questions and comments below the video. And as always, check out the video description below. Links to buy Overwatch from 3 different places. Links to eBay to buy an i5-2400 machine for really cheap will all be down there. By all means, go check it out. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.